Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to continue this. As I was saying before, my mother used to take me to restaurants and stuff like that, and she was totally notorious for flirting with every single male species that was within 20 feet of her. To my mortification, um, when you're supposed to be spending visitation time with your child, and you have to keep getting up and going to laugh and kid and, touch all these men and, be the center of attention, it just, I don't know, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And probably it had a lot to do with the whole time that this was going on, my father was sexually abusing me. So for her to overly display that type of behavior, it was just mortifying to me that she would do that. Now, she had no indication that my father was abusing me or anything. I'm kind of glad in a way that I didn't live with her. Even though I was in, foster homes, in and out of foster homes and stuff, I actually lived in 22 different homes by the time that I reached 17, 18 years old. So I was carted all over the place, switching, from here to there to here to there. I always felt totally unwanted anywhere. Like I said, it was just really hard to form bonds with anyone, and then, you add the sexual abuse with that and the ritual abuse, and wow, sometimes I'm amazed that I even survived. But I did, and that's a very good thing. I'll get into all that stuff later. Anyway, about my mother, she actually, I think for her, she searched for love all of her life, trying to find it. I have no doubt that she was abused. She was adopted, and she had a pretty rough home life, and which is why she married my father at 16. She actually married my father to get away from her own home. And then when she left, when I was 6 months old and she left, she actually ended up marrying another guy, and he was extremely abusive. I heard countless tales about her being raped, her being thrown out of a car. I actually have a specific memory of her second husband. I think that my mother, when I was approximately 1 or 2, maybe I was about 2 years old, because I have the memory of it. I remember standing in my playpen, but we were in the kitchen, and I was in a playpen, and I specifically remember her second husband, Steve, actually chasing my mother around the kitchen table with a butcher knife. My mother was screaming. I was terrified. I was screaming and crying. I heard tales after that. That's the only specific memory that I have of him. But I have heard tales of, that when she used to go and dance at the bar and leave me there with him for the evening, that there was actually a neighbor had to come in and rescue me, because I had been crying for hours and hours and hours, laying in my baby bed, filthy dirty, of course, and neglected. I think he had taken off, actually, and just left me there. So it was probably a really good thing that I didn't live with her, and she, gave me up. unfortunately, she didn't know that my father was going to abuse me. And his abuse actually started almost from the beginning. And like I said, it continued for 17 years. I can't ever remember a time that I spent with my father that he did not sexually abuse me or have sexual contact with me. That's pretty sad. But that was what it was. You know, it is what it is. And I got away from it. So, obviously I did. And I've been able to heal from it. So, that is a good thing. Let's see. It was many years later, actually, that I was able to understand my mother. You know, I think for a long time I really wanted to have a relationship with her. I kept holding on to that hope that someday she would be the mother that I needed and that I wanted. That day was never going to happen. So once I faced that reality, it was a lot better for me, actually. You know, one of the turning points was, you know, I was thinking about this and I was thinking, if I met this person and she was a next door neighbor or she was just a neighbor, would it be somebody that I would be friends with? I don't think so. I would have no desire to have a relationship with the person that my mother was. So that helped me a lot in dealing with that. And I also saw, too, much later, after my healing, that she just didn't have the skills. Some people do, some people don't. And so at least I was able to realize that, and then I could finally give up the dream of ever having the mother that I needed. And that was very, very healing in itself. Well, I can see that I am out of time once again. Gosh, this goes so fast, doesn't it? So I will let you go, and I will be making more videos, and I will see you soon. Bear hugs.